If you're over 60, you probably already know this. Your body isn't what it used to be. And that's not a bad thing. Aging isn't a failure, it's simply a shift. But here's the truth no one talks about enough. That shift affects your heart more than almost any other organ in your body. And what you do every day, how you move, how hard you push or don't push, can either protect that heart or put it in danger. Now, I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to protect you. As a doctor who spent decades with seniors listening to their stories, examining their hearts, holding their hands during unexpected hospital visits, I can tell you one thing for sure. Most heart problems in older adults didn't start with chest pain. They started with habits that felt normal, safe, even healthy. And here's where it gets serious. There are 5 specific exercise habits that I see far too often in my senior patients. And while each one starts with good intentions, staying fit, strong, youthful, they can quietly do more harm than good. I've seen it up close. Irregular heart rhythms, pressure spikes, fatigue that lingers for days, even silent heart damage that goes unnoticed until it's almost too late. So today, I'm begging you, stop these 5 exercises that may be weakening your heart. Don't worry, I'll show you what to do instead. But right now, I need you to pause and listen. Because the first one is probably something you've seen on television, in gyms, or even online tutorials meant for seniors. The first harmful habit, high-intensity interval training. You've probably heard of it. HIIT. It's everywhere. Short bursts of intense movement followed by short rests. It looks efficient, it feels modern, and most of all, it's sold as the ultimate time-saving workout. You burn fat fast, you sweat hard, you feel like you've accomplished something big. But if you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, this type of workout could be quietly attacking your heart. Here's why. When you do a HIIT session, say 30 seconds of fast running or jumping followed by 20 seconds of rest, repeat it again and again, your heart doesn't get a chance to settle. It's forced to speed up, slam the gas, cool down a little, then slam again. This kind of push and pull on the heart might be fine for a 25-year-old. But for an aging heart, it's dangerous. Your arteries aren't as flexible as they used to be. Your heart muscle may be stiffer. Your blood pressure may already be slightly elevated without you even knowing it. That sudden spike in demand the kind HIIT creates can be too much. I've seen patients who came into my clinic after a week of these workouts, telling me they felt dizzy, tired, or off. Some thought it was just dehydration. Others thought they were out of shape. But their heart tests told a different story. Arrhythmias, surging blood pressure, signs of silent strain that had been building unnoticed. One woman, 67, retired teacher, very active, came to me thinking she had the flu. Weakness, fast heartbeat, mild nausea. Turns out she had developed atrial fibrillation after trying to follow a high-intensity, at-home cardio program she saw online. Every day, for 2 weeks, she pushed herself to keep up. She never thought exercise could harm her. She thought it was saving her. You might be thinking, isn't exercise supposed to be good for the heart? Yes. But not all exercise is created equal, especially as we age. The goal of movement in your 60s isn't to compete with youth. It's to work with your body's current rhythm, to support your heart, not shock it. HIIT forces your heart into repeated stress mode. Fast heart rates, brief recovery, then fast again. This causes adrenaline spikes. Blood vessels tighten. Your heart struggles to keep up. And for a younger body, recovery is quick. For you, it might take hours or days. Sometimes it doesn't fully recover at all. The scariest part? You may not even feel anything right away. That's the trap. Silent damage. No chest pain. No dramatic collapse. Just subtle symptoms, poor sleep, increased fatigue, slight palpitations, and then one day, a blood pressure check reveals it. Or worse, a trip to the emergency room. Why do so many seniors still fall for this? Because the culture around exercise glorifies sweat. It tells you that if it doesn't hurt, it doesn't work. That pushing yourself hard is the only way to stay young. that you have to fight aging by training like you're 30 again. But that's not true. Real strength at your age doesn't come from intensity. It comes from consistency, from movements that honor your current capacity, not your past achievements. So what should you do instead? Gentle walking, daily, not power walking, just steady, conscious movement. 5 minutes to start, then 10. Build slowly. Tai Chi. It may look slow, but it's one of the most heart-friendly exercises known to science. It helps regulate blood pressure, it calms the nervous system, it supports balance and coordination. Light swimming. If you have access to water, this is gold. Buoyancy reduces stress on your joints and heart. You move without shock. Your heart stays steady. Chair-based routines. Yes, even these are valuable. Seated movements that focus on range of motion and light resistance can be incredibly helpful. And they're far safer than jumping or sprinting. The bottom line, after 60, the heart thrives on rhythm, not extremes. And if you're still with me, that tells me something beautiful, that you care, that you're willing to learn, that you want to live not just longer, but better. If that's you, I want to ask one small thing. Drop a 1 in the comments below. It lets me know you're with me, and if you didn't find this helpful, leave a 0 and tell me what you'd like to hear more of. Your feedback helps me serve you better. The second danger is one I see even more often in my senior patients, especially those trying to stay strong and avoid muscle loss. I understand the fear. No one wants to grow weak or dependent as they age. Losing strength can feel like losing control. So many seniors hit the gym or lift weights at home with one goal: to build a stronger body. But what most don't realize is that the wrong kind of strength training, done the wrong way, or with the wrong intensity, can quietly damage the heart. Let's talk about crunches, sit-ups, and heavy lifting. These exercises look like progress. They feel productive, you're sweating, you're engaged, your muscles are working, and every fitness magazine or online tutorial tells you that core strength is vital, and it is. But here's the problem. The way these exercises affect your internal pressure system is often ignored. And for a heart that's no longer in its prime, that pressure can be devastating. Let me explain. When you do a crunch, sit up, or lift something heavy, especially from a seated or bent position, you tend to hold your breath. Even if you don't mean to, your body naturally braces. That breath-holding plus straining creates a spike in something called intra-abdominal and thoracic pressure. That means you're pushing pressure not just on your abs or your chest muscles, but directly onto your heart. The blood vessels in your chest and belly get squeezed. Your heart suddenly has to work harder to push blood through tighter spaces. And your blood pressure? It can surge in seconds. If your arteries are already stiff, or if plaque has built up over the years, that moment of pressure can be too much. I've seen it happen too often. A senior walks into the clinic after lifting a moderate weight, not even something extreme. They felt a little faint, maybe dizzy, or had a flutter in their chest. Sometimes they felt a sharp pain, sometimes nothing at all, until later that evening when they couldn't sleep, couldn't relax, and didn't understand why. One man, 72 years old, used to be a mechanic, strong, practical, still active. He wanted to keep his core tight, so he added 50 crunches to his daily routine and lifted old car batteries like dumbbells. He said he felt fine at first, but then he started getting pounding headaches, shortness of breath, and skipped beats in his heart. He thought it was stress, or just getting old. It wasn't. It was internal pressure from the way he exercised. The type of strain that doesn't show on the outside, but builds up inside like steam in a closed kettle. One day, it nearly boiled over. Here's the thing. The heart is not just a pump. It's a rhythm keeper. When you strain, when you hold your breath while lifting or crunching, you throw off that rhythm. And for seniors, that can be dangerous, especially if you have high blood pressure, heart valve issues, history of heart disease, uncontrolled cholesterol, undiagnosed arrhythmias, and here's what hurts the most: people think they're doing the right thing. They believe they're preventing decline. They're trying to be responsible. But the body in your 60s and 70s isn't as elastic. isn't as forgiving. You don't bounce back from pressure the way you used to. The arteries are less flexible, the heart walls might be thicker, the electrical signals can get confused more easily. One wrong breath hold during a rep can be the difference between a normal day and a cardiac event. But I'm not here to tell you to stop strength training. No, not at all. You need strength. Muscle helps you stay upright, avoid falls, open jars, carry groceries, get out of bed. Losing muscle makes you lose independence. What I am begging you to do is change how you build strength. First, stop doing traditional crunches. You can train your core without bending in ways that compress your belly and chest. Try seated core squeezes, standing side bends, or light balance movements instead. Second, avoid lifting anything heavy above your head or off the floor if it makes you strain or hold your breath. That includes gym weights, water gallons, and even heavy laundry baskets. Instead, use resistance bands. They're safer. They don't spike pressure as much, and they allow you to control the movement. Also, slow it down. Controlled, smooth movement is your best friend now. No jerking, no quick pulls, no ego lifts. And please exhale when you exert. Breathe out as you push, pull, or lift. Inhale when you relax or lower. Your breathing is just as important as the weight in your hands. One woman I worked with, 69 years old, small frame, former school principal, swapped her 5 kilograms dumbbells for resistance bands and changed her core routine from crunches to balance-focused standing leg lifts. In 3 months, not only did her blood pressure stabilize, but her back pain reduced. And she started sleeping better. Why? Because her body wasn't under silent pressure anymore. The truth is, your heart doesn't want a challenge. It wants care. So, here's what I recommend. Work with a trainer who understands aging bodies and cardiac risks. Stick to light resistance and focus on muscle control, not power. Stop if you ever feel dizzy, short of breath, or get a headache during or after exercise. Never lift anything so heavy that you have to hold your breath to manage it. Always warm up gently. Your muscles and your heart need time to catch up. And if you're working out at home alone, keep a chair nearby. Not to sit, but to hold on to if you lose balance. You'd be shocked how many accidents I've seen happen from simply losing footing during a routine. Remember, the goal is not to look young. It's to feel well. And that means moving smart, not hard. If you're still with me, leave a 1 in the comments. It shows me that you're listening, learning, and caring for yourself the way your heart has cared for you all your life. If you disagree or want me to cover something else, leave a 0 and let me know. I'm here for you either way. We've already looked at 2 major habits, intense workouts and straining core or weightlifting exercises that often hurt more than help. But the third danger is different. It's not about how you move. It's about when and where you move. This one hides in plain sight, and it shows up every single year, often without warning, turning an ordinary walk or morning stretch into a potential crisis. I'm talking about exercising in extreme temperatures. Now, I know you might think, come on, it's just a little hot, or it's just cold air, I'll be fine. But if you're over 60, your body no longer reacts to temperature changes the way it used to. Your heart feels those shifts more deeply. And for many seniors, that impact can be dangerous. Let's start with heat. During the hot season, where temperatures easily hit 30 degrees Celsius or more, many seniors go for their walks in the late morning or afternoon. It seems convenient. Maybe that's when the sun is out, or it fits better with your day. But here's what happens inside your body during those hot hours. Your blood vessels expand to help cool you down. Your heart speeds up to push blood closer to the surface of your skin. You sweat more to lower your core temperature. And as all that happens, your body starts losing fluids quickly. Dehydration kicks in faster than you think. And before you even realize it, your blood pressure starts to drop too far or swing unpredictably. You may feel lightheaded. You may think you're just tired. But your heart is struggling to maintain balance. It's trying to cool you down, keep your brain alert, support your muscles, and regulate rhythm all at once. I've seen it over and over. An older man in his 70s decides to walk around his neighborhood at 1 p.m. He's done it before. He carries water. He wears a hat. But halfway through, he starts to feel weak. He sits under a tree, heart racing. By the time someone finds him, he's collapsed from heat exhaustion and his heart is in distress. Now let's talk about cold. On the flip side, when you step outside into the early morning chill, especially during the Harmattan season or winter in temperate regions, your blood vessels do the opposite. They shrink, they tighten, they try to conserve heat and protect your internal organs. But that vasoconstriction raises your blood pressure. If your arteries are already stiff or narrowed, that spike in pressure can be enough to cause chest pain or a dangerous rhythm shift. And most seniors don't notice it until they've already pushed their body too far. One woman, 68, told me she loved taking 6 a.m. power walks in winter to shock her system awake. But what she didn't realize was that her body wasn't just waking up, it was entering a survival state. Her heart rate spiked. Her BP jumped. She ended up in the ER after fainting in the middle of her route. She thought she was doing something healthy. What she was doing was stressing her heart with cold exposure plus exercise. And here's the bigger problem. Your body, after 60, has a weaker ability to regulate internal temperature. That's not your fault. It's just biology. Your sweat response slows. Your blood vessels don't react as quickly. Your heart takes longer to adjust. So, when you step into extreme heat or cold and start moving, your cardiovascular system is thrown into overdrive. Not because of your muscles, not because of poor health, but simply because your environment is working against you. And the solution? It's simple, but you must take it seriously. Please stop exercising outdoors during extreme weather. In hot climates, aim to move early before 9 a.m. or later in the evening when the sun has settled. Wear light, breathable clothing. Avoid direct sun exposure. Hydrate before, during, and after your walk. And if the air feels heavy or too hot, skip the walk. Your heart is not a machine. It needs grace. In colder seasons or regions, warm up indoors first. Let your body adjust. Wear layers that trap heat without making you sweat. Avoid quick bursts of movement right after stepping outside. And if you have any heart condition, avoid early morning walks altogether. Mid-morning, when your body is fully awake and the temperature has leveled, is a better option. Better still, find a consistent indoor space to move. Whether it's a community center, mall, hallway, church compound, or your own living room, consistency and safety matter more than scenery. I know it's tempting to just push through. We've all been raised on discipline, but discipline without wisdom is just stubbornness. And your heart can't afford that. Exercise should not be a test of endurance. It should be a gift to your body. Even small changes like walking for 10 minutes twice a day instead of once for 20 minutes in the heat can reduce your cardiovascular load. And don't forget hydration. I can't stress this enough. As we age, our sense of thirst gets weaker. You may not feel dehydrated, but your body already is. Dehydration thickens the blood. Thick blood makes the heart work harder. That's an invisible threat most people miss. So keep water nearby. Sip often, especially in warm environments or after move. Here's a quick checklist you can start using. Is the weather too hot or too cold? Delay or move indoors? Is your breathing tight before starting? Rest. Don't force it. Are you sweating more or less than usual? Adjust your pace. Do you feel dizzy, foggy, or too tired? Stop and sit. Hydrate. Is your heart racing after just a few steps? That's a red flag. Listen, one of my favorite patients, a 74-year-old man who'd had bypass surgery years ago, told me this after switching to indoor walking. Doc, I don't miss the outside anymore. My heart doesn't panic. I walk longer, breathe easier, and sleep better. That's what I want for you too. Let movement become something your heart looks forward to, not something it braces for. And if you're watching this and thinking, I've been exercising outside for years, and I've been fine, I hear you. But what your body tolerated at 5/8 of may not be what it tolerates at 68. Aging isn't sudden. It's gradual. And that's what makes the danger so easy to miss. Don't wait for a warning sign. Be the person who prevents the crisis, not the one who learns from it too late. Now, let's address something that's so common, so easy to overlook, and yet so harmful when you're over 60. Fast-paced, high-impact movement. Jumping. Quick turns. Sudden starts and stops. Those group fitness classes that involve dancing, hopping, skipping, or those home workouts that mix in high knees, stair sprints, and quick body weight moves. They may look fun. They may look like good cardio. And yes, they're popular with younger people for a reason. They boost heart rate fast and burn calories quickly. But for seniors, these types of movements are full of hidden chaos. Here's why. As your body ages, so does your nervous system. Reaction times slow. Balance becomes less reliable. Your muscles respond a bit slower. Your joints don't absorb shock the way they used to. And most importantly, your heart, the engine that keeps everything else running, becomes more sensitive to sudden changes. When you jump or move suddenly, your heart gets a signal. We're doing something urgent. Your adrenaline spikes. Your heart rate surges. Your blood pressure tries to keep up. All of this happens in seconds, often before your body is ready. Now, if you're in your 30s or 40s, you recover from that spike quickly. But if you're in your 60s or beyond, your recovery is slower. And in some cases, your heart doesn't bounce back at all. It stays elevated, it becomes irregular, it skips beats. You may feel dizzy. You may feel off balance. You may not even know something is wrong until hours later when your sleep is disrupted or your heart feels like it's fluttering in your chest. One woman in her late 60s joined a local Zumba class to stay social and active. She was determined not to slow down with age. During one session, the instructor led a quick step combo with side jumps. About 15 minutes in, this woman felt lightheaded and short of breath. She sat out, chalked it up to being out of shape, and kept going the next week. But that night, she couldn't sleep. Her heart kept racing. She thought it was anxiety. It was arrhythmia. The sad part? She was doing what she thought was healthy. She was trying to move, to stay young, to stay strong, but her body was asking for calm, not chaos. Fast movements aren't bad in themselves, but for the aging body, they're often too much, too fast. What your heart craves now is flow, not shock. Movements that are slow, smooth, and balanced are far more powerful than you realize. Tai Chi, stretching, slow dancing, and light water aerobics may look gentle, but they're doing something deeper. Keeping your heart steady, keeping your joints supported, and protecting your nervous system. Jumping or jolting, on the other hand, creates spikes in everything. Blood pressure, heart rate, breathing pattern, and it increases your risk of falling. And once you fall, especially over 60, the injury isn't just to your bones. The trauma, the hospital stay, the stress, it all puts even more pressure on your heart and health. I've seen seniors with broken wrists, cracked ribs, and even head trauma from fun workouts that were just too fast for their current state. And here's the part most people never talk about. These movements don't just cause falls or physical injury. They confuse your cardiovascular system. That sudden movement sends blood in all directions. Your arteries already stiffer, can't expand or contract fast enough. Your heart tries to regulate oxygen, but your breath is all over the place. This doesn't build endurance, it builds instability. Your body deserves more peace than that. One of my patients, a former dancer, had a hard time slowing down. She loved motion, loved rhythm. She thought slowing down meant giving up. But after multiple dizzy spells, she finally gave water aerobics a try. She fought it at first, said it was too easy, but within weeks, her balance improved, her blood pressure stabilized, and most of all, she started smiling again. She didn't need speed. She needed peace. And maybe you do too. If your workouts involve burpees, quick step aerobics, high knees, jumping jacks, sudden twists or turns, please pause. You're not weak for slowing down, you're wise. Try these instead. Seated leg lifts, side steps with resistance bands, gentle yoga or stretching, balance exercises using a wall or chair, walking with slow arm movements for rhythm. These may not look like much on the outside, but inside, your heart is breathing a sigh of relief. You're not stressing your arteries. You're not throwing off your rhythm. You're not confusing your blood pressure. You're simply moving with care. And that's the goal now. Because here's the final point. I need to make the one that's even more dangerous than the exercises we've discussed. It's not what you do. It's what you don't do. Inactivity. The final enemy is doing nothing at all. Skipping movement altogether. Sitting for hours on end. Avoiding exercise because of fear or past pain. I see it every day, seniors who stop moving completely after a scare. And that's just as risky. Your heart needs regular, gentle stimulation. It thrives on routine, on flow, on oxygen, on movement. So don't go to the extreme of doing nothing. Don't let fear freeze you. Just move smarter. Move slower. Move with purpose. Every gentle stretch counts. Every breath matters. Every safe step is progress. Let go of the guilt from the past. Let go of the pressure to perform. You are not training for the Olympics. You are training for life, for clarity, for calm, for mornings with no pain, for steady sleep, for more time with the people you love. And that kind of training, it starts with listening. Listening to your breath, listening to your body, listening to your heart, because it's been listening to you your whole life. So now I'm asking you to listen back. If this message touched you, drop a 1 in the comments. If you're unsure or need help adjusting your routine, leave a 0 and tell me what's holding you back. This space is for you. This message isn't just from a doctor. It's from someone who has seen too many regrets, too many could-have-beens, too many people who didn't know better until it was too late. You now know better. And that means you can do better. No more shock workout. No more crunch strain. No more extreme weather walk. No more fast, chaotic routines. No more doing nothing. Start slow. Stay steady. Support your heart. Let this be your new rhythm, not for performance, but for protection. Because you still have time, and your heart still has power. Let's treat it like it matters. Because it does. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos and messages designed just for you. You are not too old. It is not too late. Every gentle decision you make today adds more life to your years and more years to your life. Let's move wisely together.